Welcome to RV and Travel Adventures. My name is Jesus Manuel Mena Garza. Hope you're doing absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic wherever you're at. In this edition, I'm going to be talking about something in the mainstream, EVs, electronic vehicles, versus ICE, internal combustion engine vehicles. And some of the news that I've been observing over the last couple weeks. I'm going to be reading from my notes. I look down here once in a great while. I apologize. What are the benefits of EVs as compared to ICE vehicles? Okay. The benefit of EVs is they're good for the planet. They don't pollute as much. They do pollute a little bit, but they don't pollute as much, burning fossil fuels as an ICE vehicle. We currently have an existential threat called, global warming. Some people believe in it. I think about 80% of the folks on the planet believe in it. About 70% of Republicans don't believe in it. But global warming is an existential threat to humanity. It's raising sea levels because it's melting. It's melting. Yes, it is melting. The polar ice caps, and that's not a positive. Again, ice melts, you get more water, and it's not being. And the carbon that was fixed in that ice, and also in the soil underneath the ice, is now escaping and creating even more global warming. So, burning fossil fuels, gasoline, diesel, and those types of fuels is negative. And EVs are one of the ways we as human beings can mitigate that issue, okay? We got to mitigate that issue of global warming by reducing the use of fossil fuels. Many of you will say, hey, no big deal. Hey, I don't care. I don't care about my great-grandchildren, living in a planet that's baking. We don't care. But I do care, and many Americans do care and want the adoption of EVs to be accelerated, not decreased. So they are also more efficient. EVs are more efficient. They're simpler designed. You've basically got a big battery and, a couple motors and, electronics and the gauges and all the whiz-bang features. Less stuff. They don't got an engine with 400 or 500 parts to it. It's just a motor, and it's pretty simple as compared to an ICE vehicle. An EV, simply stated, is much simpler than an ICE vehicle. Okay. A lot of the car dealerships out there are complaining that, hey, we don't want to sell these ICE vehicles. I mean, not EVs. We'd rather sell ICE vehicles. And I understand. I totally understand. The top 10 fastest selling, cars on the United States market are all ICE vehicles. And they're all made by Japanese companies. 9 out of the 10 companies that are selling ICE vehicles that are the fastest selling. I mean, they get on the lot, 20, 30 days later, they're picked up and sold. Again, they're not staying on the lot because they're popular. That's a very good indicator of the value of that vehicle and what people perceive as the value of that automobile. And their Toyota Lexus is 9 out of 10. The other one is a Honda, Civic. Again, 9 out of the 10 are Toyota, Lexus, and the other one is Honda. All Japanese-made cars. I understand the Japanese car makers are not making a lot of EVs at this time. In fact, I think Honda has one that's made by GM, and they just put it on their lot and just, hey, we got an EV, shut up, okay? But they already know how to make one, to be honest with you. They, all their hybrids are essentially, they have motors, they have batteries. All you got to do is yank out the engine and make a bigger battery and bigger motors, and you can do that. Japanese car companies can make them as soon as they want. In fact, some Japanese car makers are now making EVs in China. They make them only in China. They're not going to make them for the United States. They don't make any money on them at this time because they know that the oil and gas lobby in los Estados Unidos, in the United States, owns most politicians. If you live in the state of Texas like I do, all you hear is Greg Abbott, the governor, saying, hey, we need to liberalize our fossil fuel, drilling, drill, baby, drill. Who's that guy that does that dance? Drill, baby, drill. They don't care about the environment. They could care less. They just want to continue in their office, go to the cocktail parties, hang out with their buds, whine about the liberals, whine about EVs. They're getting money from the oil and gas lobby to continue the diatribe against EVs. Okay, so auto companies currently in Europe are complaining about, hey, these mandates that you want us to build more EVs and less ICE vehicles is causing us consternation. We do not like it. We'd rather build more ICE vehicles. And can you lower the emission standards? Raise the emission standards. Allow us, or raise or lower, whatever you want to call it. Allow us to pollute more with our vehicles. Please, we would like to pollute more. Global warming, be damned. Because we're having problems selling these vehicles on the lot. Again, that's how it works. Of course, governments can quickly go in there and say, hey, this is the marketplace, but we're going to interfere in the marketplace and make ICE vehicles less affordable. They can do that if they want to save the planet. But they don't want to do that. They just want to, deal with market forces, profits. Profits are good at ICE manufacturers. Just ask Toyota, Lexus, Honda. They're doing very, very well in los Estados Unidos. Very good. In los Estados Unidos, that's what I was talking about, those top 10 Japanese brands. The top 10 vehicles being sold and quickly on the lots. That's in the United States, not in the world, in the United States, okay? So let's say, for example, you want the more EVs in los Estados Unidos and you want to quickly ramp up inventories and make EVs more affordable. Just bring all those Chinese vehicles over here. Nah, that's not a good idea. We don't want to lose all those great American jobs at GM, Ford, Ram, those companies. We don't want to lose those jobs. Those people need a livelihood. Those people that make the motors, those people that make the transmissions, those people that make the bodies, the people that sell the glass, that make the seats, they're an integral part of the American, economy. Very important, especially in Detroit, Ohio, other states where they make these vehicles. So you don't want all of a sudden just allow all these $20,000 and $30,000 Chinese EVs to come to the United States and people losing their jobs. I have one idea. This is an idea. It's not perfect. It's something to think about. When the Chinese wanted to start production of automobiles, yes, they at a time they were all riding in bicycles. Okay, most of them were riding in bicycles. They didn't have all these cars now that they have now. They said, hey, if you want to build an automobile in China, you have to partner with a Chinese company. So American companies partnering with Chinese companies, and the Americans shared their technology with these Chinese companies. Wow. We gave them technology in exchange for access to their 1.5 billion population, market, that gigantic Chinese market. It's a very big market. So all these companies said, hey, yeah, we'll show you how to make a car. And now they're making good cars by themselves. All these Chinese companies go, thank you very much for all that technology transfer. We appreciate it. We learned a lot. Now we're going to kick your ass. So let's say, for example, BYD, Build Your Dream. Hey, that's a company in China that makes their most popular EVs. If they wanted to come to the United States, hey, oh, you want to come to the United States? Hey, wow, gee whiz, gee willikers. You can, if you partner with an American company. Let's say, for example, BYD partners with GM. You have to make your batteries using American components in the United States. Hey, that's if you want to sell them in the United States. Hey, you want to put those Chinese motors in our car? No, you have to get American motors. You have to help and have a partner that makes those motors in los Estados Unidos, right here. So your motors, your batteries, your electronics, whatever goes in that vehicle has to be made in America. I'm not talking about 99% of the components come over here and you assemble them. No, we're talking made in los Estados Unidos. Or as they call it, United States of America. Hey again. So you have to duplicate the Chinese model where they took advantage of the American company's desire to sell in China. Hey, we want to sell those cars in China. So we'll develop relationships with Chinese companies and sell that stuff over there. Now they have to come over here and have relationships with American companies. Again, American companies. If you want to sell a Chinese car in los Estados Unidos, you have to have a relationship, a 50-50 relationship, not a 51-49, 50-50 relationship with an American company and partner with them and share your technology. Hey, we have a technology for this. Thank you very much, China. We greatly appreciate it. We gave you a certain amount of technology. Well, now I want some back. Is that okay? Is that okay, China? Is that okay with you? So we're duplicating the Chinese model where American companies went down there, gave them technology, gave them processes, gave them engineering, gave them how to make a car, and now they bring it back over here. They can give us how they make their EVs so cheap, etc., etc., etc. Maybe it's because of cheap Chinese labor. Who knows? That might be the number one reason why their cars are cheaper. Maybe it's because the Chinese government says, hey, build a hell of a lot of cars. We'll sell them around the world and in China, dump them over there. We don't care. Just dump them, okay? Maybe that's why they're so inexpensive. Again, what is dumping? Dumping is when you want to control a market. Let's say, for example, you want to sell yo-yos. Yes, yo-yos. This is an analogy at its worst. Let's say you want to sell yo-yos. There's a company in the United States selling yo-yos, Duncan yo-yos or something. And they make yo-yos and they sell them for $2, $3 each. The basic ones are $2. The ones with the glitter and fancy looks to them are $3, okay? A Chinese company goes, hey, we want to sell and dominate the yo-yo market. They make a yo-yo for 50 cents that sells on the United States market. And it's glittery and it's fantastic for 50 cents. When the child goes to the store and goes, hey, I want a yo-yo, mom and dad, what are they going to buy? The parents are going to say, we're not going to spend $3. We're not going to spend $2. We're going to buy that one for 50 cents. And all of a sudden, all these American yo-yo manufacturers, you know the names, go out of business, and all of a sudden the Chinese control it, and then all of a sudden, shockingly, amazingly, the prices go up from 50 cents to $1, to $2, to $3, to $5. That's the harsh reality of dumping. So I hope you enjoyed this video. This has been Jesus Manuel Menegarza talking about EVs and ICE vehicles. I think we need to make the transition to EVs as soon as possible. But is it possible without government, super amounts of government intervention, saying the government has to say, hey, you want that ICE vehicle? You can have it. You can buy it. But it's going to cost you this much more. We're going to raise the price by 50%. You want that, Ford F-150 and it sells normally for $50,000? Yeah, you can buy it for $75,000. This incentivize the purchase of ICE vehicles. And you want to buy a Ford Lightning truck instead? Hey, instead of $60,000, we'll incentivize it. We'll give you government monies. We'll say, hey, this is some cash. You can buy it for $38,000. So $38,000 versus $75,000. Maybe I'll buy that EV. In the long run, it's good for the environment. I don't want to buy an EV, but they made it so, appetizing, so wonderful, so appealing. I want that EV now because it's less expensive and it has all those whiz-bang features instead of that super expensive, noisy, and polluting F-150 Lariat or whatever, okay? This has been Jesus Manuel Menegarza talking about EVs and ICE vehicles. This is my opinion. Opinions gleaned over the old internet, and of course, nothing on the internet is misinformation. We know that. Everything on the old internet is true and factual. We already know that, huh? I've been also reading newspaper articles and white papers. What can I say? I got nothing better to do. This has been Jesus Manuel Menagarza for RV and Travel Adventures. Yes, a lot of RVs are motorized. And in the future, maybe 20, 30, 40 years from now, they're going to be, battery powered. Amazing. Clean. Amazing. Quiet. Amazing. Less issues with the motor and, underpinnings of the RV. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Fantastic. Again, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. I personally would appreciate it. It helps the channel. And leave your kind and friendly comments below. Tell me, hey, Jesus, I drive a nice vehicle. I have one of those big old pipes coming out of the back from the diesel truck, and it spews all this black smoke. That's my freedom. That's part of my freedoms as an American. I have freedoms. Don't interfere with my freedoms, okay? Check out my website for photography on this channel, rvta.myportfolio.com. And don't forget, you can become a member or you can become a Patreon subscriber at patreon.com/JAMMgarza. Yes, become a Patreon or patron of this channel. Thank you very much. From Fort Worth, Texas, hope you enjoy this vehicle. What do you think of this vehicle? Leave your kind and friendly comments below. Tell me, Jesus, you're way off base. As an American, I don't believe in this stuff. As a European, I don't believe in this stuff. I don't like the idea, hey, we got to be able to just do marketplace stuff and whatever the market likes. If I want to pollute and if I want to do this, if I want to buy an EV, just make them better, make them less expensive, etc., etc. That's how it goes. You can leave your kind and super friendly and obviously super brilliant comments below. I greatly appreciate it. Gracias. Muchísimos. Gracias. From Fort Worth, Texas, this has been Jesus Manuel Menagarza. Gracias. Adios. Ring the bell for future notifications. Bye-bye.